Thanks for logging on to Internet Television International ITI. This is Headlines Nigeria, where we bring you summaries of what's making headlines in our national dailies. I am Rachel Owa. As the country draws closer to the 2011 general elections, the polity is indeed heating up. The hottest news in the national dailies is that more than 50 of the 62 registered political parties rose from a meeting with the leadership of the Independent National Electoral Commission on Tuesday, agreeing to shift the date for the 2011 general elections to April. The headline on Nigerian Tribune is INEC, PDP, 57 parties want elections in April. Next newspaper, party agrees to INEC over date. This day, parties seek March-April dates for 2011 election. To Nigerian Tribune now, why Nigerians must stop PDP in 2011 CPC. As supporters of President Goodluck Jonathan savour the euphoria of his colourful declaration for the 2011 presidential race, the Congress for Progressive Change CPC has given some reasons Nigerians must stop the People's Democratic Party PDP from retaining power. From the same paper comes this story: I'm unaware of Jonathan's declaration for 2011 Atiku. Now, former Vice President Atiku on Tuesday said he was not aware that President Goodluck Jonathan declared his intention to contest the 2011 election on the ticket of the People's Democratic Party at the Eagle Square, Abuja, last Saturday. He told newsmen that he was not interested in Jonathan, which is why he did not have much information on the president's declaration program. From the same paper, I won't step down for Jonathan, IBB vows. Presidential aspirant General Ibrahim Babangida has said he is in the 2011 presidential race to win and not to step down for President Goodluck Jonathan or any other presidential aspirant. From Daily Trust newspaper now, Atiku challenges presidential aspirants to debate. A People's Democratic Party presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has called for a debate on the economy among all the presidential aspirants. Abubakar said that all aspirants must be able to tell Nigerians how they intend to confront the challenges of the economy and reposition it for the benefit of all at the shortest possible time. Other political headlines include: Punch, only voters can stop IBB, Gani's son. Next, Jonathan has done more for Northeast than any other leader, says Yuguda. This day, PDP delegate election now on Saturday. Jonathan is beatable, Atiku Boasts. To other news now, this day newspaper, federal government to remodel 5 airports with 90 billion naira. Minister of Aviation Mrs. Fidelia Njeze on Tuesday said the federal government had given approval for the remodeling of 5 of the nation's airports to international standard with about 90 billion naira. From the Tribune now, Akingbola petitions federal government over 41 billion naira intercontinental bank deals. Former Managing Director and Chief Executive of the Intercontinental Bank PLC, Dr. Erastus Akingbola, has petitioned the federal government giving details of the alleged looting of the bank by some top officials. Guardian newspaper, government unfolds strategies to meet MDG target. Nigeria on Tuesday assured heads of government of its full commitment to implementing a 5-year strategy aimed at ensuring effective inclusion of the Millennium Development Goals (MDGs) in all developmental plans. From this day newspaper, NLC, corruption remains endemic. $400 billion stolen between 1960 and 1999. Other news headlines include: Tribune, come to Anambra and perish. CP dares criminals. Next, EFCC goes after Cross River Council chiefs. This day, Golden Jubilee, federal government expecting 50 heads of state. We move over to business news now. Business Day newspaper, World Bank warns over federal government recurrent spending pattern, calls for caution. Fears over Nigeria's ballooning spending levels and borrowing have been raised again by the World Bank amid warnings that the private sector is increasingly crowded out in the lending market. From this day newspaper, CBN fights inflation, raises interest rates to 6.25%. The paper reports that the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, surprisingly increased its benchmark interest rate, that is the monetary policy rate, by 25 basis points, thus switching its attention from boosting growth to fighting inflation. And in sports, Tribune newspaper caught others' appearance of Megari, 15 others. Justice Okonabang of the Federal High Court in Lagos has summoned the removed president of the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, Aminu Megari, and 15 others who participated in the annulled NFF election to appear in court on Thursday to answer to the contempt proceedings initiated against them by the registered trustees of the National Association of Nigerian Footballers. From next newspaper, Commonwealth Games seriously compromised. Commonwealth Games Federation President Michael Finnell said on Tuesday that next month's Commonwealth Games has been seriously compromised. At least 19 people, mainly workers, were injured when the footbridge under construction to the main game stadium collapsed on Tuesday, highlighting fears of shoddy workmanship. Punch newspaper now, Africa Women's Championship. Nigeria draws South Africa, Mali. Nigeria were on Tuesday in Ekurhuleni City in South Africa, drawn against host South Africa in the 7th African Women's Championship, which will hold from October 29 to November 14. We are keeping our fingers crossed and hoping for the best from our soccer ladies. That's it on Headlines Nigeria. I am Rachel Owa. Thanks for looking on.